and I had like my little Britney Spears headphone, my little microphone, and I taught that workshop. And I was like, oh, like, how did you find me? And they're like, oh, a Facebook mommy group. And I was like, the hell? Like, I've been alive for a week.
Yeah.
And here, like, we're spending an hour and a half together. If you're hosting, it's up to 3 hours from the time I set up to the time I leave, that we are creating a bond and a relationship. And like, I think I've achieved that goal. Like, my goal was community, and I've achieved that. I sold 0 tickets for that event. And like, my heart was so, it was so broken.
I'm going to ask you a question, and
Yeah.
you don't have to answer it.
Yeah.
At that point, how much was in your bank account? Welcome to Side Street.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm good. Very happy to be here. This is a good, like, finish to the day. Good way to wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
So for the viewers that don't know you, could you do like a quick introduction of who you are, what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Karla. I own Bubbles Buttercream. It's a mobile cake decorating party business. So that means I bake at a commercial kitchen, and I prep pre-baked cakes, and I prep like buttercream according to themes and color schemes, and then I take it to location. So if that's a ticketed event at like a local venue, bar, brewery, coffee shop, or if it's a private event, I take everything with me and I set up for like a full cake decorating workshop experience.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So like, where did all this begin? Like, I know when we talked off camera, you were like, my background has such a big influence on what I do today.
Yeah.
So like, how did all this start?
Yeah, I think for sure, like, my family and just the way I grew up has a huge influence on this. I got really lucky in that, like, I have a very close-knit family, not just my parents and my sisters, but extended family. Like, my cousins on my mom's side are like siblings to me. And so my mom was a stay-at-home mom when we were little, and she really made an effort to involve us in everyday things. And so kitchen and like cooking, baking was something that really stood out to me. And so like, I remember being like 5 and like making up my own little recipes. I would do like egg sandwich scramble, which is like pancakes and scrambled eggs, and I would
Okay.
like cook them on the stove and stuff. But then, as I got older, like, we had traditions that just kept on going. We would always do Christmas cookies, and we would paint them. And then it turned into gingerbread house decorating competitions between all the cousins, and we split up into teams, and my team always wins, and everyone fights to be on my team, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, and just like fostering that love of like being in the kitchen and creating community. And then I definitely did have like influence from media and TV. Cake Boss was super popular as I was growing up. And so like, I had a lot of curiosity about that, and just would like fantasize about creating my own cakes. And then it turned into my family allowing me to explore, and several like hideous cakes later, um, I started selling custom cakes, which like we can get more into, but I sold custom cakes for maybe like 10 years.
Okay.
And then while I was teaching, and then I went to go work corporate, and I did that for 2 years.
What did you do corporately?
I worked in edtech sales, so I was like in a consultative position, and I would put together content packages
Mm-hmm.
for whatever the campus or the district needs were. But that required a lot of travel. So I was gone like 4 to 5 days a week, every single week. Sometimes I was gone like 8 weeks in a row, weekends included. And I really missed the aspect of community, which like I obviously had growing up. I had a lot of community when I was teaching here at Title I schools. And I was like, okay, like 2 years later, transparently, like, I got let go from my corporate job. And I was like, okay, like, what am I gonna do? So gave myself a month to cry. And I was like, all right, like, I'm done crying.
Mm-hmm.
I have too much talent, too much drive to like let it go to waste. And then I had always talked about doing this, like leading workshops, and it just felt like the perfect thing to do. Yeah. And now like I love creating community in spaces where like people can come meet new friends, or for social groups, or I don't know, like team building, networking events, birthday parties, things like that, like where there's like a big community aspect. It feels really rewarding because it's like takes me back to the Good old days.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you said that you used to sell cakes.
Yes.
Did that happen while you were starting Bubbles and Buttercream?
No. So I started selling custom cakes. I was thinking about like what was the first probably custom cake that I ever sold, and that was when I was at school. I went to UT.
Okay,
And I was in this co-ed fraternity called Alpha Phi Omega,
got it.
and they're a service fraternity, and we were like split up into different families. And there was this exchange student who was part of it. I think his name was Azamat. So Azamat, if you're watching this, shout out. Um, and we were having like a celebration because he was going back to
Okay.
like wherever he was from. I don't remember. And I was like, I can bake the cake, and I talked it up, and I was like, I'm the best cake maker.
Because
Like,
you've done it your entire childhood.
yeah, like I had done it, and I had like dabbled in like custom cakes, but like it wasn't good. Like it was like those like what I wanted versus what I got.
Uh-huh.
Like that was me. Like not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like
Okay.
not gonna lie, it was bad for a long time. And so that day I was like, okay, like I can do this. And I had never worked with fondant before, but I had seen Cake Boss do it a million times. And I was like, I'm going to make my own fondant. And I was living in a dorm room. I was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, like I'm going to do it. And I remember like melting marshmallows in the microwave in my dorm room and making this cake. And it wasn't good. It was in the shape of a Texas flag, and it had a longhorn in the middle instead of the star. And it was okay. Like, it tasted great
Okay.
and, like, got lots of compliments there, but, like, that was the first cake I ever sold, and then I was like, "Okay," so then I just would bake for fun.
How much did you sell it for?
I don't even remember. It was, like,
Like a couple dollars.
maybe $60, something like that. Like,
$60 as a freshman is a lot of money.
way underpriced, though. Like, well, for what it was, maybe I overcharged because it
Okay.
wasn't pretty.
But it tasted great.
It tasted great.
Mhm.
It just was ugly,
So like, was it like
transparently.
yay big?
No, it was like a full sheet cake. It was to feed like the entire fraternity.
Oh wow.
It was big. It was like to feed like 150 people. It was really big.
You probably should charge
I
more
should have
than.
charged a lot more for
But
it.
still, like as a freshman, $60.
Yeah, it
I would
was
when
it
I
was
was a freshman, I
fine.
would take that any day.
Yeah, yeah, it was fine. I was living in a dorm. It was like a fun thing to do for
Uh-huh.
me, and so I took it. But then life went on, and I just like would bake in my dorm room. I would show up to parties with like freshly baked cupcakes and brownies and all this stuff, and like even if I wasn't invited, like I was the girl who brought cookies,
Yeah.
and I was like welcomed. And then I started teaching, and as you know, teachers are like severely underpaid.
Hmm.
I'm talking like I was on survival, wouldn't buy groceries. I would eat on campus, like whatever was at school, and then I would go home and sleep.
What were you teaching?
I was teaching bilingual education pre-K 4, so that's for 4-year-olds,
Okay.
at a Title One school
Uh,
here in Austin.
What do you mean
So
by Title One?
Title One means that it's below income, and so it's like a certain percentage. So that school was primarily um low income, primarily Hispanic. However, it does have like a lot of refugees
Okay.
in general. And so like if you go like to East Austin or Northeast Austin, that's like typically where there's like more affordable housing and things like that. So if like you know the Runberg area,
Hmm.
that's kind of where I was teaching, and I student taught there.
Okay. Got it.
So anyway, so I was like extremely like on survival mode. My friend Natalie and I would put together our groceries, and like we would do like pantry meals, like whatever we had in our pantry is what we would eat.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, like I need to do something, right? And I had access to a huge market of students and parents
Right.
and teachers, and so I started selling custom cakes there. And with each one just got better and better and better, and then I ended up doing that for like almost 10 years.
So your first cakes, were you selling them for $60 or less? Because these are like children and like their
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, but it was for like birthday parties. So I would say like I think like the most expensive cake I probably ever sold in like those 10 years was probably like I went from doing like smaller like birthday party
Hmm.
cakes and cupcakes and things like that to doing like a $600 wedding cake. And that was probably like
Wow.
the most expensive cake I ever sold.
Was that the like the really cool cake you showed me about a week ago?
No,
Okay.
no, no, no. That's the newer one. I've elevated so much since then. But yeah, I forgot to say that like a lot of the skills that I learned, because I had been like a home baker always, but
Okay.
then when I graduated college, I decided like now's my chance to go work at a bakery because I
Hmm.
had done like in my household it was you're going to college, like that's not an option. Like you're going to college and then after that, like you're gonna get a job. And I like my dream was like go to culinary school or like do something more creative.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was like constantly like trying to fit into this bubble where like I didn't feel like I merited it or like it wasn't enough or I was never doing enough or it was just constantly challenging. And I feel like teaching was a compromise, right? And so then I was like, okay, well, now I graduated. I did what I was supposed to do. Now I can go work at a bakery. And I worked at a bakery and I ended up taking over for the lead decorator because she ended up leaving, but she had trained me on like all the case cakes and doing all of that stuff. So I
Okay.
started doing like buttercream cakes and stuff like that there. So then I think that's what kind of gave me the confidence to start selling custom cakes once I was actually teaching.
Got it.
Yeah.
So like after you graduated college, because that's technically your first cake,
Yeah, like in college
right?
was my technically first sold cake, and then I went into working at a
And
bakery.
so that was your first cake. When did you start Butters and
Bubbles and Buttercream.
Bubbles and Buttercream? Oh
Bubbles
wow.
and Buttercream was established April 1st, 2025, so it'll be a year next week.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Um, but that is not a cake selling business.
No, it's
That
not.
is more you're selling an experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly.
how come?
Like I said, like I think the thing I missed most when I was traveling for work was a sense of community. Like as in my position, like in that consultative role, I had access to a lot of people.
Hmm.
So like a big network of people, but it never was like a sense of community. You know,
Yeah.
like I was like with one other person when I was on work trips, if that. Um and and I was like, okay, but like I don't I was living in San Antonio at the time for a year of that while I was working corporate. I didn't have any friends
Hmm.
when I was living in San Antonio. Like it took me 11 months to make friends, and of those I think like one of them is the only one I still talk to.
Got it.
Um and here when I was living here, like I had all my students. I'm godmother to one of my students from my first year teaching. Like I had this is going to super age me, but I had like 14 years of friendships here.
Yeah.
And like that became my family, like all the other teachers who mentored me. And I was 22 when I started teaching. So you can imagine like 14 years of friendships, dynamics, relationships that were so valuable to me. And then I left
Hmm.
and I was just gone and I never saw anybody, never had time to see anybody. Like, so that's what I really missed. And so the reason I opted to do cake decorating workshops over selling customs was because cake decorating workshops gave me the opportunity to create a sense of community. If I were to have just sold customs, like it's like, sure, I can have repeat clients, but it's like,
But you really
I'm
don't get to talk to them. You don't get to laugh
exactly.
with them.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm working in an isolated setting in a kitchen. I go and I turn in the cake, get to see their joy of, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the cake's beautiful, and maybe like a text message or some feedback, and then that's it.
Right.
Right. And here, like, we're spending an hour, hour and a half together. If you're hosting, it's up to 3 hours from the time I set up to the time I leave, that we are creating a bond and a relationship. And like, I think I've achieved that goal. Like, my goal was community, and I've achieved that. Like, so many people that are in my inner circle that I consider friends, whether they are fellow entrepreneurs or they're previous clients of mine, like, I've achieved that goal because I know they're people I can count on. They're people I can go back to. And partnerships have blossomed out of it, friendships have blossomed out of
Hmm.
it, and that's like the most rewarding aspect of it.
Honestly, this has blossomed out of it too because we
Absolutely.
met at one of your
We
workshops.
met a week ago. Like, and how cool is this that we're here now?
Yeah.
Super cool.
Tell me a little bit about that experience. Like obviously, like I've gone through it,
Yeah.
um, through blind date, which was amazing.
Hmm.
We made the cake, took pictures. So it was a good experience that I probably wouldn't have done on my own.
Mm.
If not for blind date for like saying, hey, let's do something different this time.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about that experience, like what you want it to be, what it is now, what do you want it to be in the future?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, at the beginning, I was like, okay, like I know I want to do something this different. This something I'm passionate about, and I have an amazing background of skills that's going to support me in doing this with efficacy and like making sure it's something functional and sustainable, right?
Hmm.
Because I have a background as an educator, and then I also have a certification in project management, and I'm pursuing a learning and development certification. Like I'm always learning, I'm always growing, and I have that skill set that's going to support me in making this passion accessible to everybody,
Yeah.
right? And so that's like another big goal is to make sure that my workshops are accessible to the community at large. This is a luxury experience, but it's an experience that everybody deserves to enjoy, right?
What makes a luxury experience?
Um, as somebody who has worked at Title One schools, and frankly, like my life financially has gone in waves, right?
Well, that's the
From
entrepreneurial lifestyle.
that and like just from childhood, right?
Okay.
Like it's kind of gone in waves. I've seen what it looks like to live on the higher end of like maybe like higher medium income home to a very low income status home, right?
Got
And
it.
so I've seen like just the fact that you have time to be able to go to something like that, and you don't have to be working or like thinking about your where your next meal is coming from, or if you're a parent and have kids, like okay, like now I have to help my kids with this and that, whatever. Like
Hmm.
that in and of itself is a luxury,
Okay.
right? And so recognizing that, and then obviously like things cost money. Like the price of eggs, I don't know if you pay attention to the price of eggs, but it's absolutely outrageous. Like it
Yeah.
is ridiculous. So access to ingredients, that's one aspect, but I choose to use really high quality ingredients because I believe in like having good relationships with food and your nutrition overall, and like knowing where those ingredients are sourced from is super important to me. So like access to really high quality ingredients is expensive. It costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? And so I always say like by coming to my workshops, you're supporting in making this accessible to communities at large, so that I can partner with nonprofit organizations or community organizations to make this an activity or an event that everybody can enjoy, right? So
Got
you're
it.
still experiencing that luxury experience, um but you're able to enjoy it at a lower price point or at a price point that's more accessible, right? And
Hmm.
so all that to say is like I try to implement all of those, my ethics, my background in my skill sets and all of those things into something that I'm super passionate about. So at the beginning, like I just knew that I had to pursue this, and I knew it was a good idea because my family supported me in it. And if they weren't supportive, I would be like, okay, well, this is stupid. Like this is not gonna work out. But
Got it.
they were so supportive. So I was like, okay, like I'm on to something here. And I think in a year it's transformed into something that like we were talking the other day, like I need help. Like
Hmm.
it's getting so big that it's like I can't do everything by myself like I have been
Yeah.
over the last year. And I'm hoping in the next 5 to 10 years, like this is a fully self-sustaining business that like this is my full-time 9 to 9 because I'm never gonna stop
Hmm.
working. I know that about myself, but that this is going to sustain myself, sustain a family in the future, and be something that like is gonna set me up for the rest of my life while still keeping that mission of like making this accessible to everybody because that's a very high value that I hold.
Got it. We're gonna get to the where you want to be
Yeah.
in the future later, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of go back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
That first month, what was that like? Like, first of all, what triggered the decision to tackle this sort of business?
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think this is the norm,
Yeah.
right? It's definitely a niche type of experience. So like, what triggered that allowed you to go enter this endeavor,
Yeah.
and what was that first month like?
I think the triggering factor was for sure like that push, right? Of like I got let go from my corporate job,
Okay, yeah.
and I was like, okay, well, girl, you got to get it together,
You need
honey. And like
money.
I need money. The job market sucks right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was applying. In that first week after getting let go, I had 7 interviews. And that
Wait,
was
that's
like
really good.
that was crazy. That was primary, secondary, and tertiary interviews.
Okay.
And then it came down to like the ultimate selection, right? And like I just happened to be outbeat by a candidate who had experience in that industry.
Damn.
It sucked, right? It really hurt my ego so bad. And I was like, well, I can't just like keep crying. Like I
Right.
have to do something. And then in that first month, it happened to be South by. This is really embarrassing, but I went to a Kendra Scott event for South by and I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna live like a soft girl spring and enjoy my time. And there was a panel there with a couple like business owners. And there was this boss ass lady. Her name is Monty Landers. She's the owner of Riot Swim. And I was just like hearing her talk about how like she literally started from like reselling swimsuits that she would find in shops
Uh-huh.
that she thought were cute, and she would post them online and she would sell them. And her story was just like so like she was taking charge of her own life because she had modeled in the past, like she had had so much experience in that in the industry, and she was finally like doing something about it. And I was like, hello, ding ding, like. And I had been sitting on this concept since before I even started working corporate. My corporate interview was me talking about my bakery business and how I wanted to pursue that full time.
Interesting.
And
Wow.
so I had been sitting on this for like 3 4 years already. And I was like, you know what, like I just need to do it. So I talked to Monty and I cried to her, like, I just got fired and blah, blah, blah. And like, and she was like, stop crying and you're just going to do it. Like, you're just going to pull the plug, pick a name, and you're going to start posting about it. And you're going to book a workshop and it's going to take off from there. And I'm going to be watching you on social media. And I was like, cool, love it. Yes, ma'am. Like, I'm going to do
Wait,
it.
I love that energy.
Yeah, she's so like it's that boss bitch energy that I needed. Like I needed that push cuz like my family was so kind and like being so loving and caring, which
Hmm.
like I don't often get the space to just like be in my feels, which I needed to, but I needed somebody external to say like I see something in you, go do it,
Right.
right? So then I was like, okay, like who do I know? What events can I get into? And I knew somebody else here in Austin, TK Tunches, who had this business called or has this business called Las Ofrendas. And she would lead like local artisanal Latina LGBTQIA plus markets and
Okay.
events. And so I connected with TK and I said, hey, I'm back, girl. Like I used to sell at your events. Like I'm back. And she was like, okay, like let's have a workshop at my next event. And I was like, okay. It was a Selena Quintanilla celebration. And
What does that mean?
Selena Quintanilla, the artist, the kind of
I'm not familiar
artist.
now.
Selena? You don't know Selena?
When you say Selena, I think Selena Gomez.
Selena is the Tejana artist who like played cumbia. She played Como la flor. Como la flor, tanto amor me
I
diste
think I have some
tú.
Spotify homework.
Yeah. Yeah, Spotify homework. She's super famous, but she passed in I think 94
Okay.
or 95. Anyway, so TK was doing like a Selena birthday celebration.
Got it.
Um and it was also like Frida Friday ATX's
Hmm.
anniversary. I think it was like their 8th anniversary or something. So I had been attending her events since I was like super, super young, like fresh out of college, and had worked her events as a vendor. And so now it was like, okay, like a revamp, right? And she extended that opportunity to me. We started marketing like crazy. Um, and I sold 0 tickets for that event. And like my heart was it was so broken. Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like fuck, like it's not gonna happen. Like I should just quit now, but I had just spent all this money on materials. Like,
How much did you spend?
oh my God, I put in $2,000
Two thousand
of my
dollars.
own money. Like I had just gotten
Oh my
fired.
god.
I had very limited money left in my bank account. And I was like, I have to pay rent. Like I have to pay my dog's annual visit was due, her nail trim. I had to go to the doctor. I had to go to the dentist, like get my vision, all these things done before my insurance expired. And I was like, seed money, $2,000. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna ask you a question, and
Yeah.
you don't have to answer.
Yeah.
At that point, how much was in your bank account?
I think like 4,500.
And then of that, $2,000 went to this
$2,000
event.
went to Bubbles and Buttercream.
50% of your net worth.
Literally. Literally.
That's a
It
big
wasn't a
leap.
lot. I had also just paid off my student loans.
Okay.
So I was like running on empty. Like I was like nothing. There
Yeah.
was nothing left. And I was like, I'm going to do it. So I didn't sell a single ticket. And I was like, fuck, okay, what am I going to do? And I was like, you know what? We're going to make this free by donation. Like,
Okay.
come. I printed posters, I printed flyers. I had like really nice, beautiful posters made. If you look at my social media, I have like a little lemonade stand, is what I call
I
it.
love
But
that.
it's like super cute, super branded, super pink, in your face, bubbles and buttercream everywhere. And I was like, we're doing it. And I made a custom cake for TK for the Free to Friday anniversary for that one to be on display to like help advertise my
Yeah.
business. And then I hosted 2 back-to-back workshops with a 30-minute gap in between at that event with 8 people per workshop. So 16 people back to back. And I had literally 9 sets of everything. And I had like my little Britney Spears headphone, my little microphone, and I taught that workshop. And after that, like a week later, somebody reached out to me to book a private birthday party. And I was like, "Oh, like how did you find me?" And they're like, "Oh, a Facebook mommy group." And I was like, "The hell? Like I've been alive for a week."
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
So out of those 15, so it was 30 people, right?
16 people total.
16 people total, 8,
Mhm.
8. So
8 and
out
8.
of those 16 people, someone put your thing in a Facebook group chat,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming that's where you sold your first ticket.
That's where I sold my first private booking. And from there it just like kept growing, kept growing, kept growing. And so after like 2 private bookings, I was like, okay, girl, like you're making your money back. Like, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Right. And started selling ticketed events. And I made like really great partnerships. At first it was a challenge. Like, where am I going to do these? Like, I don't have a like a kitchen space that'll let me host. I had a
Hmm.
kitchen space, obviously, because you have to run an LLC business.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, like I have to find a space. And so I started like asking venues and things like that. And I think I did 2 months like that. I did April and May, just like
2 months of pitching or
2 months of pitching and selling private bookings and hosting workshops at like TK's events. Cause then I did a Mother's Day event with her.
so during those 2 months, how many no's did you get?
Oh my God. So many. I got told by one venue, we're really, what did they say? We're really protective of our image here because I asked them if I could host a private bachelorette party there.
Okay.
And it was like high end. Like I feel like my workshops, I can make them look really high end or like kid birthday party,
Right.
like whichever. Like it's very, I can fluctuate on that spectrum. And they like told me like we're really protective of, about our image here. And I was like, excellent. Thank you so much. But yeah, it took, I mean, so many no's, so many no's. And it took one venue to see like what I was doing on the Mother's Day workshop, which was actually also my birthday. My birthday's Mexico's Mother's Day. And so it happened to be on the same day, May 10th.
May 10th. Okay.
Yeah. And my aunt came and she was like super supportive. And I had like one of my cousins come and she was super supportive. And then everybody else was just like random people that
Yeah.
signed up there at the event or like had I think like 1 or 2 tickets had pre-sold.
Who was that first venue that said
I was
yes?
St. Elmo Brewing, the Springdale location. And
Okay.
I still have like an amazing partnership with them. And I host workshops there monthly, at least 1 or 2 a month.
Free shout out.
Hey, St. Elmo. Yeah.
God, okay.
Yeah.
And so that's been running. Well, I'm assuming that's like the first 6 months, right? Like all of this.
No, that's like the first 2 months.
All that was packed in two
In 2
months.
months. Yeah. That was like the
Jesus.
first, that was April and May because I got started April 1st. And then that partnership with St. Elmo came through May 10th.
Okay.
So like a month and 9 days.
And then after that,
And then after that, I was just like, I started publishing and selling ticketed events. Some did amazing, some flopped. Some I ended up hosting at my apartment complex. I hosted a Bad Bunny one that was comprised of my cousin, her husband, of a contact from years ago that was a loyal bakery client of mine,
okay.
and a neighbor. And then another one, I did a Sabrina Carpenter themed one that was like my best friends. like my three best friends.
Yeah.
They came and we did the whole workshop experience. Just us three.
So out of those experiences that were really good,
Yeah.
what do you think set them apart from the ones that didn't do as well?
As we were talking about, marketing is so important. And I think what I was lacking, what I realized there, I think after like the Sabrina Carpenter one, that was like in June that I did that one.
Okay.
So
Almost a year at this
almost
point.
a year at this point, was that I needed really good media
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have great media before then. And I was just kind of like, I didn't even have a tripod. Like I had nothing.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, I need to like step it up. So I went and got a new phone with a better camera because my old phone was like super outdated.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got a new phone. And then I coordinated a dream bachelorette giveaway with an Airbnb,
That's pretty cool.
and I brought on 8 other vendors. So I was the event coordinator for that. So side hustle. I also do event coordination. Um, and I'm working on a brand for that. Coming soon. But
You got all this, and then now you want to do an
I
event?
have to. I
Oh my
have to.
God.
You can't help when you're good at something.
Yeah.
I will say that, right? Like you can't help when you're good at something. So that bachelorette event, like I had amazing partnership through somebody that I met pretty early on through the Ladies Lifestyle Network. And Jessica, that is her name. She's the owner of a photo booth business called Howdy Clicks. But
Mm-hmm.
we made like an amazing partnership, and that was the first project that we worked on
Okay.
together. And she like helped me find sponsors for the event, and I did like all of the venue coordination and all like the vendor onboarding coordination, day of planning. I created like a full project wiki. I did all of the like little logistical details, and we gave away a bachelorette party. Like all the vendors, we all gave away our services for free,
Uh-huh.
and we used it as a content day.
So
So
did the Airbnb, was that the only one that got paid?
they just charged us the cleaning fee, which was
Oh wow.
amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
it was amazing because I had a vendor partnership agreement with them. So like if
Got
they
it.
have like guests that are staying for like a birthday or bachelorette, I'm on their list of recommended vendors to
Okay.
hire out to bring to the venue. So that's kind of how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which also happened like in April, May. But anyway, and so the Dream Bachelorette we ended up doing in November. So
Got it.
from April 2025 to November 2025, like that was my focus to like get
Okay.
good media. And so we used the Bachelorette as a content day. We hired the real POV. She does social media content for events. Her name is Fatima. And then we hired Cesar Rivera. He's a photographer here. And like when I tell you I went through like no joke, like at least 40 photographers until I found the one that I liked. I was being so picky, but because this media was so important to me, because this is something that all of us now are using for our branding.
Yeah.
And like that's amazing. And for all the vendors to still be a network and we all are all super supportive of each other and like all these things like that has been super rewarding as well.
Who was the photographer again?
Cesar Rivera.
Cesar Rivera.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What made him so good?
Cesar is so niche. He has a background in photographing, yes, portraits, but also in photographing food,
Okay.
which like as a food vendor, right? Because yes, I'm selling an event, but
Mm-hmm.
it's working with food. That was really important to me because you can capture people excellently in a certain light or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like everybody has their style, but food, pictures of food have to speak to you. It has to make you crave it, right? And that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I need somebody who can capture that,
Yeah.
right? And like he got it. He just knew. And it took 2 minutes of looking through his Instagram and I was like, that's it. Like that's what I
He's the
want.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, right? So much.
So much. But it's good.
Yeah.
You got to keep going,
Yeah.
right? But that's been your year so far.
Yeah, I mean, since November, I've hosted like more team building events. I always go to Ladies Lifestyle Network, Hayes County events. I'm always a vendor there. That's like the only event where I actually like I'll decorate cakes live. for people to purchase there
Okay.
in promotion of my business. Um, what else? Like team building, social network events, like social clubs and things like that. I've done book clubs. Um, yeah, a lot of things, a lot of different things.
So throughout all of this, what do you think is the hardest part of running the business?
Yeah, so much.
You
All of
can't say
it.
everything, by the way.
All of it. All of it's so hard. One time, like I just think there are not enough hours in the day.
Hmm.
One. Two, doing it by yourself, I think people underestimate like what it takes to run a business by yourself. Every other business owner that I know has a partner, whether that's a romantic partner that supports them in the setup and tear down and behind the scenes things,
Right.
or like a family member that they're business partners with, or that they bring in as an assistant. I'm literally doing this by myself. Like, I don't have any help from anybody. The biggest capacity of that is like my sisters checked that the website was functioning for me, and my mom taught me how to do bookkeeping. Like, that was it. And so, like, the fact that I'm just doing it by myself is really, really difficult.
Hmm.
Um, but I will say, like, the most challenging thing is like getting out of my own head.
What do you mean?
I think that I also have raging ADHD. That's a problem too. So it's like focusing on one
I like
single
how you
thing.
describe that. I have raging ADHD.
It's so bad. So like focusing on one thing at a time is so incredibly difficult for me because like I'll get started on something and I'm like, okay, wait, I have like 18 other things on my to-do list. Let me go look at this tab really fast. So I have like 83 tabs in like 5 different windows open. But like it's
Wow.
organized in my brain. Like I know where everything is.
Okay.
And like I am very organized, but it's just like I
As long
have
as you know where
yeah,
everything
yeah, yeah.
is, it's good.
I have to be working on like 2 to 3 things at one single time.
Okay.
So that's challenging, but also like I think when I say like getting out of my own head is like I want to be the best at every single thing that I do. And I think part of that is like not allowing myself to get carried away and comparing,
Hmm.
one. Two is not allowing imposter syndrome to take over because I'm so like this is going to sound so egocentric, but like I'm the best me ever. Like I'm such a boss. Like and I know that. Like I get so many compliments. I've never realized how funny I am. Like apparently I'm super funny. Didn't know that. Um I also am super engaging. I know that I'm super engaging. I know I'm an amazing teacher. Like for everybody to come out of every single workshop with the product that they're proud of. And you guys got like the micro portion where like I did the hard part for you. But
Wait,
like
what? What's the hard part?
yeah, like I teach people like actually how to stack their cakes and like properly coat them and get them nice and even and glossy and things like
Interesting.
that.
Okay.
So like you guys got half of a workshop just because of time
Yeah.
because we had a social as part of it as well.
Hmm.
But like everybody always leaves my workshops really proud of themselves and like that's the most rewarding part for me. So like I when I am in my head I have to remind myself like this is what I'm doing it for, to encourage other people, to give them confidence, to empower them. And like I see that when like it's so cute. Like people text me like their own little cakes that they've baked at home, or like I get invited to a birthday party and like a previous client will tell me like I baked the cake today, and I'm genuinely so proud of them
Yeah.
because what I've taught them they're able to take away and apply on their own. And like if it's practical and purposeful, like love that what more can I ask for,
Right.
right? So I have to kind of remind myself of that as I'm like allowing ADHD and like compulsion and like panic and anxiety.
I feel like
I
that's
just can't
like
allow it to take over.
the norm for any entrepreneur, though. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like everyone has to like do everything they possibly can because
Yeah.
I mean it's your business.
For
You
sure.
trust yourself,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, at any point, do you think you're gonna outsource?
Outsource in the sense of like, as in, I need help. Yes. I need help with like back end things for sure.
Right.
I need help with like the bookkeeping, the taxes things. I need help with the marketing things.
Mhm.
Like, yes, with that, I need help. One thing I don't think I will ever fully relinquish control of, though, is like the actual baking and instruction.
Because you
And
haven't told
it's
anyone that. Oh
I've
wait.
I've let in one person to come be my assistant, but I've known this person from when I worked at the bakery
Okay.
X number of years ago. And she came and like supported me, but just one day because I had like four bookings in within like a 3-day span.
Got it.
So it was like crazy.
Hmm.
And even then, like I didn't share the recipes with her. But I trust her in the process of everything, right? And so when I say like I don't think I'll ever relinquish full control there of like allowing somebody to like be my baker and things like that, it's because again, like I deeply believe in using high quality ingredients
Right.
and that like everything needs to be done to a really high standard and that's what sets me apart. Like everything's done to a super super high standard, mix in my background in education and then I'm actually teaching you skills that you can
Hmm.
go like we actually go through a lesson before you ever get your cake,
That is true. Yeah.
right? And I think that's really different from other people who might do the same thing that I do. They're not doing it in the same way. And so with the baking, like I always want to have a hand in the baking and like make sure like everything's super high quality and in the instruction. Like I think it's going to take somebody really special who understands the complexities
Hmm.
of like what being a good instructor is. It's yes, it's experience, but it's also skill set.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's easily replicated.
So the other people that do something similar,
Yeah.
what are they doing differently? Because you said like your experience is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, for me personally, like
Yeah.
I've only been to your workshop,
Yeah.
so like I just don't know what that is.
Yeah. And I can only again, like to your point, like I can only speak from my own
Yeah.
experience, right? I've also never been to somebody else's workshop.
Okay.
However, I have had like shared clients with that with those businesses. And
Hmm.
so that's something I do hear a lot is like I really love how you actually teach us before we get to our cake. I really love how you're hands on. I really love how you approach this with humor and flexibility
Yeah.
and you know all of those things. I think like when if you hear it once, cool, that's great feedback. But if you're hearing it multiple times,
You're
that's
doing
when you know
something
that's a
right.
differentiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's kind of pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Community is a huge part of
Mhm.
what you're doing. Have you ever thought about creating like a third space around this experience?
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I think like that's the dream, right? Like my dream is to have my little bakery coffee shop um where like everything's super transparent and open and welcoming and I can have a workshop studio within that
Yeah.
space. Like that's the goal. I love my partnerships. Like I said I have that partnership with St. Elmo and I also have a partnership with Simona's, which is like this beautiful coffee shop at the Colton House Hotel.
Well, I'm curious. So when you say partnerships,
Yeah.
does that mean that you're paying them to have your workshop there, or is it just free space?
Yeah, so they're venue partners. So I do like always include in my tickets, you'll probably notice like um yes, my tickets are also at the lowest price point in the state, by the way. But they always do include a drink
Okay.
with your ticket. So that means that I'm securing that I can pay the venue for their space and time. And I'm also cognizant of like what it takes to be in the service industry. And I want the bartenders or whoever's behind, like the baristas, to be
Yeah.
well taken care of. So that gratuity is also included in that ticket
Okay.
rate.
Got it.
So in that way, I am paying them for their time and space.
Got it.
So I really do consider them amazing partners. Um, and while I love having those partnerships, like it's every person's dream, of course, to like have their own space.
Yeah.
So that's definitely like in the cards. I've thought about it already of like what would that look like? And I don't think I'm at that point yet, but who knows? Like maybe in the next 6 months, maybe in the next year. Like I don't know.
Oh, but it's close.
I would I hope so. Yeah. I would love to, you know. I think there's a lot of things that I need to get in order before I can get to that point, but yeah.
Okay. Um, what do you think is the favorite part, is your favorite part of this business? Because we've talked about like what is the hardest,
Yeah.
but what do you like the most?
I think there are a couple things. Um, One is like that I get to share my passion with other people, and I think that comes through. Like, I don't know if in your
No, it
experience you
was
can
fun. No,
say,
you could tell.
yeah, I think you can tell that I'm passionate about this. Like, I think when somebody's uncomfortable in the space, because I've been an educator, I've seen a lot of educators, I've presented at conferences,
Hmm.
you know, I've seen salespeople also like
Okay.
have sales experience. I can tell when somebody's not necessarily comfortable in the space that they're in or with the product that they're selling or with what they're presenting, right? Because there's always like a afterthought or second thoughts or whatever.
Hmm.
And I feel really excited. Oh, every single time I go into a workshop, like I get so giddy and I get nervous because I'm so excited to share this experience with people. And I want to make sure you all have the best time. Like, that's, I want you to have really fond memories with this experience. And so I think that is super important. But again, like I'll go back to community. I think that's the most rewarding part is the people. Like
Okay.
hands down the people. Um and I can think of like just a couple of examples like my Mother's Day workshop. There's this woman named April who came with her son who's about like he's like 23, 24, and they came and did the workshop together, and April is now my hairdresser, and like we talk all the time, and I consider her a friend. And
Got it.
like she's a repeat client. Like I do her family birthday cakes and just celebration cakes all the
Hmm.
time. And like another person is Alma. Like Alma has been a supporter from day one, and I didn't even know the girl, and she was already supporting me behind the scenes. She was sharing my reels and my posts and my lives and all these things even before my very first event. And she came up to me on my first event and said, "I've been following you for so long. I've been so excited to meet you. Can I please join your workshop?" And I was like, "Yes, please do." And Alma and I have become very good friends
Oh,
as well.
was she one of the 16 people?
Yeah, she was one of the 16 people, and she's an influencer for like food and experiences.
Okay.
Her at is a Latina Chronicles, and she has become like such an amazing friend as well out of that. And so like those are just like a couple of people that I can name off the top of my head that have been there since day one, but like I can go on and on and on and on and on because from repeat clients like Stephanie and Anna to like people who have become really good friends, like that is so meaningful. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was after. That's what I was missing. That's what I was craving when I was on the road was community, right? And like that we're able to create that community through something that I'm so passionate about that I love. Like that is infinitely special. Like I don't think there's anything greater than that.
Right.
Yeah.
So 5 years, 10 years down.
Oh Lord.
Have
Who
you thought
knows?
about it? Like where you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a balance. I hope to still be doing this 5, 10 years down the road and for it to be like a flourishing business that, you know, is like an Austin staple. Like
Yeah.
I had some girls come one time from New Jersey and they like had me on their bucket list. And I was like, what the hell? Like that is so twisted.
Yeah, that's
Like that is
so cool.
so insanely crazy. Like the nicest people and they like recommend me all the way in Jersey. And I'm like that how does that even happen? I have no clue. But like I hope like my workshop experience, like Bubbles and Buttercream is an Austin staple and like
Hmm.
you have to go see Karla. Like 5, 10 years down the road. And like I hope that like I get to bring my kids with me to my bakery and have them like have a baby strapped to my baby Bjorn while I'm teaching a workshop and like all of those things. And it's just so insane because I will say like in my early 20s, never, never would I have ever imagined for my life to take this trajectory.
Yeah.
Like I thought once I was a teacher, I was going to be a teacher and then I was going to get married super young and have kids and then who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like thank God my life didn't go that way. No, seriously, like I really am so grateful that my life has not gone the way that I planned. Yes, it's been a shit show multiple
It's a good
times.
shit show.
Yeah, but it's like the most amazing, crazy, psychotic roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
it truly has been. And I like cannot wait to see like what comes in the future. I just know myself and I know like I'm never satisfied and I'm always wanting more and better and to grow and to learn. Like I said, like I'm enrolled in a million courses even right now. Like I I want to just be constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's good karma that you're putting out there and like the more you put out there into the world and the more you're open, the more you're going to receive.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I don't know where I'll be, but I hope yeah, still doing this, an Austin staple and like my own little bakery and all that. Yeah.
I mean, you've done amazing for like the past year,
Thank
right?
you.
If you could leave one piece of advice for anyone else who wants to start a business,
Yeah.
what would that be?
I would say just do it. like like just take the leap.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like thank God for that Monty Landers. Thank God for my sisters who like were like, "Okay, you want to do this? Like you're going to do it." Like I'm going to test your website. We're going to do beta. We're going to do all these things.
Yeah.
And like you're going to do it, right? And like my family who's been like infinitely supported, like I cannot imagine like what the hell I would be doing other than this had I not just taken the leap. Right? I sat on it for 3 or 4 years. I did one trial workshop in 2020,
COVID?
2020, 2021. Like we were just coming out of COVID
Okay.
with dance friends. And I did one trial workshop and it was so much fun and I posted about it and I never did it ever again. And like never would I have thought I would be doing this, but like it was a thought that I always had that like when I would meet people, like this is what I wanted to do. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm doing it. So just do it.
Imagine if you had quit that first time you did it and
No,
you sold 0 tickets.
no, that's crazy. I had invested way too much money. Half my net worth was in this business
Yeah,
already. That's
but
crazy.
it's a very real possibility, and
Yeah.
if you had decided to quit,
Yeah.
you would not be where you are today.
And it's hard. I'm not going to lie and say like life is easy. It's not.
Yeah.
And transparently, it's really not. Like it's economically binding. It's really difficult. I mean, the first year is an infinite struggle bus. Like it really is. But it's also so exciting. It's so full of innovation and constant reevaluation and ebbs and flows and opportunities and like how many people have I known that also started their businesses at the same time that I did and we're all
Hmm.
flourishing together.
Yeah.
And that's so amazing because we've created like a support system within one another and like I can just keep adding more and more people into that including you. Like you're getting started and that's something so amazing and like I can only wish that like everybody can experience this kind of like psychotic adventure
Of
that is so
entrepreneurship.
rewarding. Yeah, it's so cool.
No, it's gonna be a journey for real,
Yeah.
and I don't think anything can really prepare you for it.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
But no, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for getting on Side Street.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been so fun.